My wife told me in front of her friends. My ex was better in every way. I should have never left him. They all laughed. I said nothing, just grabbed my keys and left. When she got home, her belongings were on the lawn and the locks were changed. When my wife told 20 people at a birthday party that her ex was better than me at everything, including in bed, and that she'd only married me for money, I didn't yell. I didn't make a scene. I just set down my spatula, grabbed my keys, and drove home to change every lock in the house I owned before she was even sober enough to realize what she'd done. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I'd been grilling burgers at Jessica's birthday party for maybe 40 minutes when I heard Amanda's voice cut through the backyard noise. She was drunk, not falling down drunk, but that specific level of intoxication where inhibitions vanish and truth spills out like wine from a tipped glass. Ryan was so much better looking, she said, loud enough that conversations nearby stopped. Better in bed too, better at everything, honestly. I flipped a burger, kept my face neutral. This wasn't the first time I'd heard about Ryan, not even the 100th. For 3 years, Ryan's ghost had lived in our marriage like a third person neither of us acknowledged directly. Ryan was funnier. Ryan was more spontaneous. Ryan planned better dates. Ryan also cheated on her twice and left her drowning in $12,000 of credit card debt he'd racked up in her name, but apparently those details faded when compared to his sexual prowess and jawline. Her friends giggled. Someone, I think it was Jessica's sister Megan, asked, "Then why'd you leave him? Because he didn't have money?" Amanda laughed. "But God, I think about him constantly. Like, all the time." My hand tightened on the grill tongs. The burger in front of me was starting to char. "Does Michael know?" another voice asked. Probably Sarah, Jessica's college roommate. "Michael's right there," Amanda said, and I could hear the smile in her voice. "But he doesn't care. Do you, baby?" 20 faces turned toward me, some amused, some uncomfortable, a few guys looking at me with something like pity. I met Amanda's eyes across the patio. She was smiling, genuinely smiling, like she'd just made a harmless joke about my driving or my terrible taste in action movies. "Nope," I said calmly. "Don't care at all." More laughter. Relief rippled through the crowd. "See, he's cool with it. It's just drunk honesty. Harmless." Amanda blew me a kiss, her wine sloshing slightly. "See, he's so understanding. That's why I married him. Ryan would have thrown a fit." That's when I set down the spatula, grabbed my keys from the patio table where I'd left them next to my phone. "Where are you going?" Amanda called out, her tone shifting slightly. Not worried, just confused. "Home. The burgers aren't done. You finish them." I walked through Jessica's house without looking back, through the living room with its birthday decorations, past the table loaded with presents I'd helped Amanda pick out and wrap, out the front door to where my Honda Accord sat under a streetlight. Behind me, I heard Amanda's voice again, fainter now. "He's so dramatic lately." I wasn't dramatic. I was done. The house was mine. Bought 2 years before I even met Amanda, when I was 28, and finally making decent money as a senior systems analyst. My name only on the deed, my down payment, my mortgage. Amanda had moved in after the wedding, brought her clothes and her opinions and her endless comparisons to a man who'd destroyed her credit score and her ability to trust people. For 3 years, I'd been the stable choice, the safe bet, the guy who didn't cheat, didn't lie, didn't max out her credit cards, but also, apparently, didn't measure up to her ex in any category that mattered. I'd heard variations of this for our entire marriage, usually in smaller doses. Ryan used to surprise me with weekend trips. Ryan was better at fixing things around the house. Ryan always knew what to say when I was upset. I'd tried. God knows I'd tried. Planned surprises, learned basic plumbing, read articles about emotional intelligence and communication. But it was never enough because I wasn't Ryan, and Ryan had achieved mythological status in Amanda's mind. All his sins forgiven, all his qualities magnified through the lens of nostalgia and selective memory. Tonight was different only in scale. Tonight, she'd said it publicly, loudly, without shame or hesitation. She'd told her friends, our friends, people we'd see again at future parties and dinners and weddings, that I was second-rate, a financial decision, a practical choice, the guy she settled for when passion didn't pay the bills. I pulled into my driveway at 8:47 p.m., made my first call before I'd even turned off the engine. "Hartman and Associates, this is the answering service. I need to speak with David Hartman. It's urgent. Tell him it's Michael Torres." David was a friend from college who'd gone into family law. We hadn't talked in 6 months, but I knew he kept his phone on for emergencies. He called back in 4 minutes. "Michael, what's wrong? I want a divorce. How fast can we do this in Pennsylvania?" A pause. "Jesus, are you sure? Completely. Okay? If she agrees and there's no kids, no contested property, 30 days minimum. But Michael, you should think about this." "I have thought about it. For 3 years. Start the paperwork first thing Monday. I'll need you to come in and sign some forms. I'll be there at 9 a.m. sharp. Can I ask what happened?" She told a party full of people that she only married me for money and that her ex was better than me at everything, including sex. Another pause. Longer this time. Shit. "Yeah. Okay. Monday, 9 a.m. We'll get this started." Second call, my brother Marcus. "What's up? I need help moving stuff. Now, tonight." Marcus didn't ask questions. That's why I called him. "On my way. 20 minutes. Third call, a 24-hour locksmith service I found on on Google. Rapid response locks. This is Tony. How fast can you change locks on a 3-bedroom house? All exterior doors, front and back. I can be there in, looks like you're in Shady Grove. Hour and 15 minutes. I'll pay double if you come in 45 minutes. I can do 45. Address? I gave it to him. Hung up. Sat in my car in my driveway and felt something in my chest crack and then go very, very still. Marcus pulled up 18 minutes later in his pickup truck. He took one look at my face and said, "Where do we start?" "Bedroom. Everything that's hers goes in garbage bags on the lawn. Amanda's clothes? All of it." He grabbed 2 boxes of contractor bags from his truck. "You're really doing this." "I'm really doing this." We worked fast. Her side of the closet. Dresses, jeans, shoes, belts, scarves, purses, into bags. Her dresser drawers, underwear, socks, pajamas, workout clothes, into bags. Bathroom, makeup, hair products, prescription bottles, her electric toothbrush, into a plastic bin. Marcus worked silently, efficiently, asking only practical questions. "What about this jewelry box? These books on her nightstand? The throw pillows she bought? Hers, hers, hers." The locksmith arrived at 9:34 p.m. Tony was a thick-necked guy in his 50s who'd clearly seen some shit. He looked at the garbage bags Marcus was carrying to the lawn and said, "Rough night? Getting better. I've done 12 of these this month. You're making the right call doing it fast." He changed every lock. Front door, back door, garage side entrance, new deadbolts, new door handles, new keys on a ring he handed me at 10:47 p.m. "She tries to get back in. That's breaking and entering," Tony said. "Call the cops." Got it. He collected his money. I'd pulled $600 in cash from the ATM on the drive home and left. Marcus and I stood on the lawn looking at the pile of Amanda's life. 15 garbage bags, 3 cardboard boxes, 2 plastic bins. Her entire existence in my house reduced to trash bags under the porch light. "You sure about this?" Marcus asked. "Completely. She's going to lose her mind. Probably. You need me to stay?" "No, but thank you." He gripped my shoulder. "Call me if you need anything. I mean it. I will." He drove away at 11:03 p.m. I went inside, locked the new locks, sat on the couch and waited. Amanda's Uber pulled up at 11:47 p.m. I watched through the front window as she stumbled out, laughing at something Jessica was saying from the back seat. She was drunker now than she'd been at the party, swaying slightly as she walked toward the porch. Then she saw the bags. She stopped, stared, her head swiveled slowly, taking in the full scope of it. I could see the moment the alcohol haze cleared enough for confusion to register. She ran to the front door, tried her key. It didn't work. Tried again. Nothing. She pounded on the door. "Michael, open up!" "What the hell is this?" I opened the door, stood in the doorway blocking her entry. "Your stuff. Take it." "Are you insane?" Her eyes were wide. Mascara smudged. "Let me in." "No, this is my house too. Check the deed." "It's not." Her face went white. Actually white, like blood draining from skin. "You can't just kick me out. We're married. For now. Divorce papers are being filed Monday morning." "Because of a joke?" Her voice cracked. "Because I said something stupid while drunk?" "No, because you've been saying it for 3 years. Sober and drunk. Ryan this, Ryan that. I'm tired of being the guy you settled for." "I didn't mean it like that." "You meant it exactly like that. You told 20 people tonight that your ex was better than me at everything, that you only married me for money." "I was drunk." "Drunk words or sober thoughts." She started crying. Real tears now, not manipulation tears. "The difference is subtle, but I'd learned to spot it. Please, I love you. I made a mistake. I'll never mention Ryan again." "Too late." "You're really going to throw away 3 years over this?" "You threw it away when you humiliated me in front of your friends. I'm just finishing what you started." "Where am I supposed to go?" "Call Ryan. Maybe he'll take you back." Her face crumpled. "He's married. He has 2 kids. Not my problem." She grabbed my arm. Her nails dug into my skin. "Please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You know what wasn't funny?" I pulled my arm free. "Hearing you tell a party full of people that you settled for me. That every time we have sex, you're thinking about him. That the only thing I have going for me is my bank account." "I didn't say—" "You said exactly that." I stepped back inside. "Michael, wait." I closed the door, locked it. She pounded, screamed my name, cried, begged. I walked to the living room and turned on the TV. Found a documentary about deep-sea creatures. Turned the volume up to 32. Eventually, the pounding stopped. I heard her voice on the phone, muffled through the door, but audible. "Jess, can you come back? He kicked me out, changed the locks. Everything's on the lawn." My phone started buzzing. Jessica first. "Michael, what the hell is wrong with you?" Then Sarah, "This is crazy, you need to let her in." Then Megan, "She was just drunk. Everyone says stupid things." Then Amanda's mother, "I raised you better than this, Michael. Let my daughter in her own home." Then Amanda's sister, "You're being abusive." I blocked them all, every single one. Jessica's car pulled up at 12:23 a.m. I heard voices, heard bags being loaded into a trunk, heard Amanda crying, Jessica consoling, both of them probably talking about what an asshole I was. Then silence. I looked out the window. The lawn was empty. She'd taken everything. My phone buzzed one more time. Unknown number. Text message. "I'm staying at Jess's. We need to talk tomorrow. Please." I replied. "Talk to my lawyer." Blocked the number. Set my phone down. Sat in my quiet house. My house, the one I'd bought with my own money 2 years before Amanda had even existed in my life, and felt the weight of 3 years lift off my shoulders like I'd been carrying a backpack full of rocks and had finally been allowed to set it down. I didn't sleep. Didn't didn't really try to, just sat there on my couch in the dark, watching headlights occasionally sweep across the living room wall as cars passed on the street outside. At 3:17 a.m., I realized I was waiting for her to come back, waiting for her key to scrape against the new lock, waiting for another round of pounding and begging, but she didn't come. At 6:43 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Amanda's voice, thick with crying or lack of sleep or both. Michael, please. I know I fucked up. I know I hurt you, but we can work through this. I'll go to counseling. I'll do whatever you want. Just please, call me back. I deleted the voicemail. At 9 a.m. sharp, I was sitting in David Hartman's office. He'd come in on a Sunday for me, which I appreciated. You're sure? He asked one more time. Completely. No chance you want to try counseling first? David, she told a room full of people I was her second choice, that she thinks about her ex constantly, that she only married me for financial stability. There's no counseling that fixes that. He nodded slowly, slid a folder across the desk. Irreconcilable differences. We'll argue for dissolution based on the house being premarital property, which it is, and no mingling of finances beyond the joint checking account. You'll probably have to split that 50-50, but the house, your retirement accounts, everything you brought into the marriage stays yours. How long? If she agrees and doesn't contest anything, 30 to 45 days. If she fights it, he shrugged. Could be 6 months. Could be a year. She won't fight. How do you know? Because fighting means lawyers, and lawyers mean money, and she doesn't have any. Everything she has is mine. Her car is in my name, my insurance, my payments. Her credit cards are tied to my accounts because hers are maxed out from Ryan. She has a part-time job at a boutique that pays maybe $1,500 a month. She can't afford to fight me. David looked at me for a long moment. You've thought this through. I had 3 years. He started explaining the process. Forms to sign. Timeline to expect. What would happen with the joint checking account, the car, her health insurance through my employer. I listened, signed where he pointed. At 10:34 a.m., I walked out of his office with copies of everything in a manila folder. My phone had 17 missed calls, 9 voicemails, 32 text messages. I blocked every number I didn't recognize and every contact associated with Amanda's social circle. Then I drove to my parents' house. My mother took one look at my face and pulled me into the kitchen. What happened? I told her everything. The party, the comments, the locks, the lawyer. She listened without interrupting. When I finished, she was quiet for maybe 30 seconds. Then she said, "Good." I blinked. "What? Good. I never liked her." "Mom, I didn't. She was always comparing you to that ex of hers, always talking about how spontaneous he was, how romantic, like stability and reliability were character flaws." She poured me coffee. "You deserve someone who chooses you first, Michael, not someone who settles for you because the man she actually wanted didn't have his life together." My father appeared in the doorway. "What's going on?" "Michael's divorcing Amanda." Dad nodded once. "About damn time." Apparently, I'd been the only one who didn't see it. The texts from Amanda continued for 3 days. They evolved through predictable stages. Apology. "I'm so sorry. I was drunk and stupid. Please forgive me." Bargaining. "I'll do anything." Counseling. Therapy. "I'll never drink again." Anger. "You're throwing away 3 years over one mistake?" Blame shifting. "You were always too sensitive. I can't even joke around without you overreacting." Desperation. "Please just talk to me. I have nowhere to go. Jessica is kicking me out." Threats. "My lawyer says you can't just kick me out. That's illegal." On Wednesday, she showed up at my office. Security called me at 2:15 p.m. "Mr. Torres, there's a woman here claiming to be your wife. She's causing a scene." "I'll be right down." I found her in the lobby, mascara running, hair uncombed, wearing the same clothes I'd seen her in on Sunday. "Michael," she rushed toward me. "Thank God. I need to talk to you, please. We have nothing to discuss. I'm staying in my car. Jessica kicked me out because I couldn't pay her rent and I maxed out my cards and that's not my problem anymore. Please." She was crying hard now. People were staring. "I made a mistake. Just one mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. Amanda, you made the same mistake for 3 years. Every time you mentioned Ryan, every time you compared me to him, every time you made it clear I was your backup plan." I kept my voice low, calm. "I'm done being someone's consolation prize. I never meant, you meant all of it. The only thing you regret is getting caught saying it out loud." Security was approaching. I nodded to them. "Ma'am, you need to leave," the guard said. "This is my husband." "Not for long," I said. "David Hartman is my lawyer. Contact him if you need something." I walked back to the elevator. Behind me, I heard her screaming, "You can't do this. We're married. You owe me." I didn't turn around. The divorce took 32 days. Amanda contested nothing. Signed everything David put in front of her. She had no choice, really. No money for lawyers, no legal claim to the house, no evidence of financial contribution to our household beyond her part-time boutique salary that barely covered her shopping habit. David negotiated a settlement. She kept her car, which I signed over to her, and half the joint checking account, which came to about $4,000. Everything else was mine. On day 32, I got the email from David. "It's done. Divorce is final. Congrats on your freedom." I sat in my living room, and felt nothing. Not relief, not sadness, not anger, just quiet. That evening, Jessica called from a number I hadn't blocked yet. "I hope you're happy," she said. "Amanda's living in her car. She got $4,000 in the settlement. That's first month, last month, and security deposit on an apartment. She's spent it. Not my problem. She's sleeping in a Honda Civic. The Honda Civic I signed over to her. The one I paid off. You're heartless. No, I'm done subsidizing someone who spent 3 years telling me and everyone else that she settled for me. There's a difference. Jessica hung up. I blocked her number. 3 months later, I saw Amanda at a Target. She was with someone. A guy maybe mid-30s, nice watch, expensive shoes. She saw me at the same moment I saw her. We made eye contact across the home goods section. She looked different, thinner, tired, hair shorter. None of the polish she used to maintain when my credit card was paying for her salon appointments. The guy she was with noticed. That him? Yeah, she said quietly. He looked at me, sizing me up. Then he put his arm around her shoulders and steered her toward the checkout. I bought my trash bags and laundry detergent and went home. That night, I got a text from an unknown number. I saw you today. You look good. I miss you. I didn't respond. Didn't block the number either, though. Just left it there, unread, but acknowledged. Because some part of me, maybe the vindictive part, maybe just the human part, wanted her to see that I'd read it and chosen not to respond. Wanted her to know that the man she'd publicly humiliated for being so understanding had understood perfectly that she'd never actually loved him and had finally stopped pretending that mattered. 2 weeks later, I deleted the text. 6 months later, I started dating someone new. Her name was Rachel. She was a veterinarian, funny, kind, smart, and on our third date, when she mentioned an ex-boyfriend, she did it in passing, a brief reference to a failed relationship that taught her what she didn't want, and then she smiled at me and said, "But I'm glad it didn't work out, because now I'm here." No comparisons, no rankings, no sense that I was plan B, just presence, just possibility. And for the first time in 3 years, I felt like someone's first choice. We've been together 18 months now. Sometimes late at night when Rachel's asleep next to me and the house is quiet, I think about Amanda, about those garbage bags on the lawn, about the sound of the locks clicking into place, about her face when she realized I meant it, that I was actually done. And I don't feel guilty. I feel free. Because the woman who'd told 20 people at a party that she'd only married me for my bank account learned the hard way that the husband she'd publicly humiliated for being so understanding had understood perfectly that she'd never loved me at all. And I'd finally stopped pretending that was enough. Retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. Sonnet 4.5.